Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Monday. Okay. Typically, since the time change here, I have sunlight over here, so excuse me with my lighting. I'm trying to adjust to the new time and the new lighting. Okay. So today I want to talk to you all right before I go on my membership meeting for tonight. Okay, you guys can hear me here, right? Right before I actually am, hold on, I'm trying to multitask here. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me actually focus. Okay, hello everyone, welcome. If you're watching this live, go ahead and type in live. If you are watching this on the replay, go ahead and type in replay, and you already know the deal, right? The more that you all interact with this live, the more that you share the live, the more that you show it to more people, right? The more lives that get impacted. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about the ugly side of building wealth. And I have a private circle community that we meet twice a month, every other Monday. And today we're meeting at 6:30. So I decided, you know what, while I'm waiting for our meeting to start, let me hop on live real quick and just have a conversation with you. Typically when I go live, I'm going live about a specific topic, I'm teaching something, or I have a guest speaker. But today's live is going to be a little different. I want to have a conversation with you. Yes, it could still be a teaching moment. Yes, absolutely, right? Actually, you do learn better through conversation and through stories than you do through like formal teaching, like a chalkboard or PowerPoint or whatever the case is. So this is actually perfect. Okay. And so a few things are shifting in my business. As some of you know, I have landed some partnerships with some big corporations. Until I sign on the dotted line, I cannot name those corporations, but they're pretty big boys that you have heard of before. Okay. Some of them are big banks, and some of them are smaller corporations that maybe you haven't heard of. And because of that, my business has shifted a lot, right? There's a lot of shifting. There's like a huge pivoting. Sorry, there's a huge pivot. There's a huge pivot. Okay, say that 10 times fast. There's a huge pivot. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Anyways, there's a huge pivot in my business right now. And so those of you who are business owners, right, you will experience this. I mean, take a look at Amazon. Amazon used to sell only books. Now, literally, you could buy sex toys on Amazon. You could buy, groceries on Amazon. You could buy all sorts of things on Amazon. It's not just books, okay? I remember buying my college textbooks on Amazon and selling them on eBay. I remember those days, right? Even Instagram. Instagram used to just be pictures, right? And even Facebook used to be just for college students. It used to be just for Harvard students. Then it became just for college students. And now everyone on earth, if you have internet, you probably have some sort of social media, right? And so pivots are normal. Pivots are a natural part of your wealth evolution. And so throughout my pivot, I'm actually in the process of doing something called market research. So those of you who are not in business or who are new to business, market research is where you're researching what your customers, what your clients, right? The people that you are serving with your business, what do they want? Right? It's one thing to open a business and provide a solution and serve your community. It's another to listen to your community, listen to the people that you're serving, to give them exactly what it is that they're asking for. That's how you remain in business, and that's how you grow your business. So throughout my market research, right, throughout asking questions and talking to my past clients, my future clients, right, throughout all of that, one of the young ladies who I've worked with, she brought up to my attention, she said, Kat, I love your membership. I've been in your membership for years. I have people who have been in my membership. You know how they say memberships don't work? That's not always true, right? You just have to work it for your business, right? You have to make sure that it fits your business. So sometimes memberships don't work because it just doesn't fit your business. It's not something you want to do. It's not something subconsciously you want to commit to, and that's why it doesn't work, right? But anyways, that's not what this live is about. So she's like, I've been in your membership for quite some time now, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. And one of the things that keeps me coming back is because as long as I stay in your membership, as long as I show up, I know that I'm going to show up for myself. Listen to what she said now, right? She says, the reason why I'm still in your membership is because I know that if I show up to your calls, I'm going to get some sort of gem that's going to allow me to continuously to show up for myself, right? Now you see why she was my client, all right? And I don't even need to go into some of the results that she's had over the past couple of years. But anyway, she brought something to my attention. She said, have you ever thought about doing a lesson around what to do when you feel like quitting? And it's so funny because I come on these lives, right? And I'm always talking about the possibility, right? What is possible? What if you were able to take control of your finances? What if you were able to control your spending instead of your spending controlling you? What if you were able to put your money to work for you and multiply? This is what life would look like. So I'm really good at painting the desire, painting that picture, allowing you to see clearly, allowing you to expand your mind. That's my secret sauce, right? I provide the space, I provide the information, I provide the resources, I provide the tools, I provide the community to allow you to expand your mind. And so I'm always talking about what's possible, right? But I never really talk about what happens when you don't feel like it. What happens when there's a whole bunch of fires and they all need to put out? What happens when someone in the family gets sick? What happens when you get sick? What happens when you go through a heartbreak? What happens when you go through multiple heartbreaks? What happens when you get bad news? What happens when your body's like, yeah, you're not getting up today. You're staying in bed all day. What happens during those days, right? And so, yes, it's fun to talk about what's possible. It's fun to talk about your desires, painting that picture of, okay, close your eyes. This is one of my favorite meditations, right? Close your eyes. If money was not an issue, where would you be right now? Everybody loves that meditation. Anytime I do that meditation, whether it's a speaking engagement or one of my challenges, people go crazy for it, right? Because it gives you that permission to dream. And it gives you that permission to get in touch with the things that you truly desire. But here's the thing though, right? There is no straight line to success. I'm going to repeat that. Success is not linear. It's not like, oh, I make this decision and then boom, my life changes immediately. That's what we want to think happens. That's how a lot of coaches, and even myself, I'll include myself in that, have been guilty of, because we deliver it that way, not with ill intentions. It's not like to lure you, to give you, to sell you a dream, like what people will say, like, oh yeah, that person's good at selling a dream, right? All right. It's not to sell you the dream, it's to allow you to give yourself permission to dream bigger. Because a lot of times we settle for things that we don't really want because we feel like we have to settle. We feel like to get the things that we want to do is going to require too much out of us, or that we're no longer going to belong, or people will look at us crazy. Right? Or no one will understand your vision, or maybe the vision will be too hard, or maybe you don't have the resources to actually go out there and implement and make this vision come true, right? And so when I speak to you about what's possible, it is to stretch your mind. But at the end of the day, wealth building comes with its obstacles, such as when you get sick, such as the days that you don't feel like it. So talk to me in the chat, type in a 5 in the chat. Let me make sure that people are watching. Okay. Make sure that you guys are watching. What are some things that you do when you feel like giving up? Okay. What are some resources? What are some go-to things that you do when you feel like giving up? Because there will be days where you feel like giving up. I am one of them. I make good money. What people would say, the average person, most people, the average person in America makes about 50 grand a year. Okay. That's the average salary is 50 grand a year. So anything above that is above average. Absolutely. Right. So in the grand scheme of things, I make what some would call good money. For me, good money is 25 mil a year. Okay. That's where I'm headed. I need 25 mil minimum to be able to do what I need to do for my community. Okay. But for the lack of a better, without getting into my personal stuff where I need 25 mil, I make good money. But there are some times where I want to quit. There are some times where I'm like, well, Kat, you know what? Go to this, go on Indeed and look at some banking jobs. Look at some, some hedge fund management jobs. Look at some portfolio management jobs, that are paying $250K. I have those days where clients clients who are supposed to sign up. I block out my whole schedule. They don't sign up. Invoices are not paid. Sales are slow. Market is slow. Because remember, my business is not my only source of income, right? Where the market is slow. Like right now, the market is really lackluster right now. There's not really a lot of opportunity to make like day trading or like swing trading money right now because things are moving very, very, very slow, right? And so when things are slow, when things are not panning out, I'll give you a perfect example. Those big corporations that I told you I'm about to partner with. Well, in the midst of that, there was a huge gap of I didn't hear anything back from them. Where I thought I didn't even have the contract. I thought they were like, yeah, no, she's not good enough. We're not going to hire her, right? And so there are times where I start to second guess myself, where I start to question, am I doing the right thing? Is this business what I should be doing? Should I just go back to the stock market and just focus on that and wait till I make my 25 million and then come back to this? There's so many things that come to mind, right? When things are slow, when things are hard, right? And so what would have happened if I gave up? How would that have affected you watching this live? How would that affected you who has gained so much transformation just from watching my lives, just from watching my YouTube? I don't want to make this about me, but I'm giving you an example. I'm giving you my personal example of we all go through it, right? There are times where you will want to give up, and that is perfectly okay. And it doesn't mean that you're struggling. It doesn't mean that you're broke. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that you're going through the obstacles that are necessary for you to get to your next level. That's all it really means. But when you're in the fire, sometimes it doesn't feel like that. You know how like, oh, I know this is happening for me. I know that this is happening for me. I know there's a lesson here. But while you're in it, it's so hard to keep that discipline to say, I know this is happening for me, right? When you're in it, it's like, I want to give up. Am I doing the right thing? Am I good enough? You know how many times I ask myself that? Where, Kat, are you good enough? Do you know enough? Are you able to lead these women? They all look up to you. Are you good enough? Are you doing this right? Like all of this comes into mind. And so how do I overcome this? Because the minute that I give up, that's going to affect not just me. It's going to affect every single one of you. You're all here watching my live because you've watched my lives before. Or maybe this is your first time and you're still here and you're watching and you're paying attention because I'm speaking to you, right? And so imagine if I gave up 3 years ago. Imagine if I never started this business. Imagine if I gave up when I was getting my master's in finance and I literally failed my first accounting test. I hate accounting, by the way. This is why I say I'm not a tax professional. I don't even want to be. That is not my ministry. I hate accounting with a passion. But I had to do it for my master's in finance, though, and I completely failed that first test. Imagine if I gave up then. I would have never completed my master's in finance. I would have never had the guts to open this business. I would have never had the audacity to say, hey, I'm going to teach women about multiplying their money so that they can build wealth without feeling guilty about it. I'm going to help women remember who the F they are and step into their true identity and demand the wealth that they desire, right? None of that would have happened if I gave up. And so I want you to ask yourself, right? What is it that you are doing when you to keep yourself going when you don't feel like it? Because you're not going to feel like it every day. You're not going to feel like it. There's going to be days where you wake up and you're like, I don't feel like doing this. And that's okay, because guess what? You're human. But what are you doing to combat that? What are you doing to get out of that? There's going to be days where you get some bad news and you're going to want to stay in bed and cry all day. Hello. Hello. There's going to be some day where the person you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with turned out to be a whole fraud. All right. Now I'm speaking my real stuff. All right, Kat, you back up. And you're going to just want to cry all day. Actually, you're going to want to cry all week. You're going to want to watch reruns of your favorite shows. You're going to want to grab all the bad food out there, all the greasiest of the greasy foods, and just indulge in that. But how long are you allowing yourself to stay there? What are you doing to pull yourself out of that? Who are you surrounding yourself? Because sometimes I don't like the whole strong black women thing, because it just, that's a whole, you know what? That's a whole nother conversation. Forget I even said that, because that's a whole nother conversation. Sometimes it's not about you being strong. It's about your people, the people that are around you, being strong for you, pulling you out of your misery, pulling you out of your sorrows. Sometimes you just need to get a text. I had a young lady text me today. I hope your day was beautiful today. Sometimes that's all you need. Who are you surrounding yourself with? What type of support system do you have? Well, Kat, I don't have a support system. What are you doing about it? I love when people come to me and say, well, Kat, I can't. Well, Kat, I can't. Well, Kat, I don't have this. What are you doing about it? I don't want to hear what you can't do or what you don't have. What are you doing about it? That's what I want to hear. Okay? And so I said that this was going to be a conversation. I'm not yelling about you, but there are ugly sides to building wealth. There are days where you will not feel like doing it. There are days where things that you think will fall into place, everything goes wrong. There will be days where everything is going wrong. Perfect example. On last week, two weeks ago, I had an event, a networking event with. It wasn't a networking event. It was a let me slow down. It was the Haitian ladies. They were putting together, the Haitian Ladies Sisterhood. They put together like a brunch, like a woman empowerment conference type of brunch thing, right? And my mother owns a nonprofit organization, and I help her with her nonprofit organization from time to time. Well, I ordered a whole bunch of marketing material. I ordered some workbooks, some tote bags, some pens, right? All my marketing gear, because I was going to share the table with my mom. So my mom was going to raise money for her nonprofit, and I was going to advertise my business, right? Everything went wrong that day. Okay. First of all, I was late. Okay. Late as can be. I went to go rent a car just for that event, so we can have space in the car to bring all the materials over there. The whole car rental thing was a nightmare. None of my workbooks were available, right? None of my pens were available. None of my marketing material was available. But you know what I did though? I said, you know what? Forget Katiana's marketing material. This entire day is going to be about my mom's nonprofit. It'll come back to me, no problem. So we set up the table. We had jewelry, some of my old jewelry from my old business. We auctioned those off, not auction, but we sold them to raise money. And my mom was able to raise some good amount of money that day. And I was also able to land a speaking opportunity, which I'm actually going to send to my email list. If you're not part of my email list, go ahead and send me your email and I'll add you to it. Okay. Where I'm going to be speaking at a women's empowerment conference surrounding money. Okay. And so imagine if I said, I don't have my marketing materials. I don't have pens. I don't have nothing like that. You know what, mommy? Forget it. We're not going anymore. I could have said that. That's a little bit extreme. But hey, I could have felt there are times where we get really emotional and we do irrational things like that. I could have said, forget it, mommy. We're not going. I could have said that. Or I could have just dropped off my mom and say, you know what, or whatever the case is. There's so many ways. There's so many things that I could have done differently, right? Instead of what I did, which was continue. We're going to roll with it. Okay. Everything's not going according to plan, but we're going to roll with it. We're going to pivot. We're going to do what needs to be done to the show must go on, right? What do you have in place that allows you to do that? What type of things are you feeding your mind to strengthen your mind so you can endure those hard times, those days when nothing goes right? Okay. Warren says success is not linear. Allow myself to pivot, go back to the drawing board, reinvent myself as many times as necessary. Yashay, that's right, Warren's watching from YouTube there. Let me highlight this comment. Absolutely. Thank you for watching on YouTube. People are watching on YouTube. Okay, YouTube, I see you. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Fala says facts on facts on facts, right? Absolutely. Warren says imposter syndrome. Priestess Ocean Funke says never give up. Absolutely. Never give up. Here's the thing. Here's another thing about the obstacles, right? Have you ever, what if we change our mindset? Okay. What if we change our mindset to say, what is this teaching me? This obstacle is hard right now. This obstacle is uncomfortable right now. This obstacle is not something I want to deal with right now, but it is here for a reason. What is this teaching me? What would happen if you started looking at your obstacles as lessons? What would happen if you started looking at your obstacles as a new way of thinking? What happens if you looked at your obstacles as a challenge to do things a little differently than what you're doing right now? What would happen then? Talk to me in the chat. Type in a 1 in the chat if you're with me, okay? And so, how do you handle the ugly sides of building wealth? Being ready for it, knowing that it's going to happen. I'd love to tell you that this road is bells and whistles and rainbows and butterflies and it's easy peasy. I would love to tell you that. But there are times where things will go wrong. There are times where you will have to spend money that you've been beefing up your savings with, and something comes up and you have to spend it. And then now you start feeling guilty. Oh my God, I was in such a role. All of that is going to happen. And so when you're ready for it versus being a victim of it, all right? Notice what I said. When you're ready for it versus being a victim of it, that's going to change the entire trajectory of your wealth building journey, because there will be times that are rough. There will be times where you're not able to show up fully. There will be times where everything goes wrong. And so the question is whether the tools and the resources that I have implemented right now, that's going to help alleviate these obstacles, that's going to help me overcome these obstacles. And some of these resources include, who are you surrounded by? If you don't have a support system, how do you go and get one? What tools do you have to automate some of your stuff? Type in a 1 if you're with me. Type in a 0 if I lost you. Got some people watching, but the comments are a little dry. You know, I love it when you guys talk to me in the comments. Okay. All right. Type in a 1 if you're with me. Give me some energy. All right. And so what did I say? The first is, who are you surrounded by? Because sometimes all you need is a conversation. Sometimes all you need is someone to listen to you vent. Sometimes all you need is to bounce ideas on someone. Sometimes all you need is someone to tell you, you're not giving up. I'm not letting you give up. Have you thought about doing this? Right? Another thing, it could be automations. What type of things can you automate? If you're in your wealth building journey, I'm pretty sure you have some sort of business or maybe some business idea, right? Or maybe you're a high level executive. How can you automate some of your work that you're doing? Thank you, Joanne, for that 1. All right. I needed some energy. I need somebody to say something in the chat. All right. Okay. Right. How can I automate some things? How can I delegate? That's another thing. How can I delegate? Yes. You know what? Every time I think about doing this one task, I get overwhelmed. And I don't feel like it, or for some reason I can't stick to it. Well, how can you outsource it to someone else? Maybe it's not something you really want to do. Maybe that's why you keep sabotaging it. Right? How can I leverage that to someone else? Well, Kat, I don't have the money to hire somebody else. How can you go get the money to hire somebody else? Right? It's not how I can't, it's how can I? Everything is how can I alleviate these situations? All right. Any questions, comments, or observations? What questions do you guys have for me? All right, Joanne, Farah. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so that's pretty much it. Again, I'm actually headed, I have 5 minutes until my meeting with my ladies. So I guess I'll take this chance to talk to you a little bit about my membership. All right. So as a lot of you know, I'm doing some shifts in my business. So some of the programs that I had, like working one-on-one with me, that's going to go away. Right. Some of the group programs that I have, those are gone. Right. I don't have those group programs anymore. So there's a lot of different offers that I've had throughout the years. There's a lot of different programs and courses that I've had throughout the years that are no longer going to be available, which I warned you guys about. Actually, I've said this literally since 2020. I've been saying that. I'm like, you guys better work with me while you still can. You better work with me. And it wasn't a scare tactic. It wasn't like, oh, you better buy this or else, or, you know, whatever. It wasn't even that. It was just, I was serious. Because I know what I have to do to help my community, and I can't do the one-on-one stuff anymore. It gets to the point where in order to reach the masses, I need to work with bigger organizations, right? And so I already knew this day was coming, all right? You just didn't think it would be so fast, but a lot of my programs are going away. However, I do have this membership that I have had for the past It's almost been 4 years. Actually, April of this year would make it 4 years that I've had this membership, and I have members who are with me since the beginning. So that already tells you this is not the type of membership that you're just gonna pay every month and not show up to. Okay. So this is a private wealth community circle, right? This is a group of women. It's a sisterhood of women who are all on this wealth building journey with you. And so we're all, and I'm in this with you, we're all actively taking steps, taking action to redefine and redirect our entire financial trajectory, such as, hey, we need to go and brainstorm 5 ways to bring in some extra money to be able to do this investment. We're going to analyze this investment together. Is this a good opportunity or is it not? Right? How do we get ready for this opportunity? What are the fears that are coming up? What are the subconscious limiting beliefs that are telling you that you're not good enough for this type of investment, right? So we work through all of these. And so I have a vision that I want to make this even bigger. I want to start introducing retreats. I want to start introducing events that we do together, local events. And so that's going to be my main offer. You're going to hear me talk about it a lot. If you're interested and you're like, a membership sounds good, Kat, go ahead and reach out to me, slide into my DMs. I'm not going to push this the way that I was pushing other things like apply to work with me. All that is gone. Like there's no apply to work with me anymore. There's no book a one-on-one consultation. None of that exists anymore. Okay. So if you wanted to work with me one-on-one, slide into my DMs and I will see if I can make some room for you. But the only thing that I have available right now to be able to help you on the individual level is my membership. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and send me a DM and I'll tell you who I'm looking for. Who's this? Actually, let's talk about who this membership is not for. This membership is not for someone who's living paycheck to paycheck. I'm so sorry. You will be lost in this membership. This membership is not for someone who doesn't have any savings, who cannot participate in any type of investment. I'm so sorry, right? You got to work with a money coach or work with someone who's going to help you get to that level because we're taking action together, right? We're implementing things together. This is not someone who's going to come up. This is not for someone who's going to come up with a whole bunch of excuses of why they can't do something, right? This is for the ladies. This is who I'm looking for. I'm looking for ladies who want to shift their mindset around the way that they handle their money, who want to shift their identity and their self-worth to allow themselves to receive the abundance that already belongs to them. This is for ladies who are going to say, Kat, I know I don't have X, Y, and Z right now, but how can I go and get it? These are the types of ladies that I'm looking for. I'm looking for leaders. I'm looking for people who want to change the entire financial trajectory of their family, of their bloodline. If you're looking to just be comfortable, make enough money to be comfortable, this membership is not for you, unfortunately. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, some days when I have those ugly days, I just want to be comfortable. Okay. All right. But then I snap right out of it because that's not really what I want. Okay. But it doesn't shame anyone who that's what you want. All right. And so I'm looking for leaders. I'm looking for people who are ready to take action. I'm looking for people who are excited about investing. Right. I'm looking for people who are excited about shifting their identity. Right. This shouldn't be a burden. I shouldn't have to force this on you. I shouldn't have to pull you out of everything. Right. I'm looking for go-getters. I'm looking for people who are self-starters, who are like, let's do this, Kat. If that is you, go ahead and please slide into my DMs because I would love to have you in my community. It is invitation only. If you are interested, DM me, say, hey, Kat, I heard you mention something about the membership. Tell me more. And then we'll talk and see if it's a good fit. All right, it's 6:30. I got to go. Have a great day. Bye.